Understanding person-centered care. Person-centered care is a holistic approach that places the individual at the heart of all care decisions. It emphasizes understanding the unique needs, preferences, and aspirations of each person. By prioritizing their choices, autonomy, and dignity, care providers create a supportive environment that enhances well-being and fosters trust. One of the core principles of person-centered care is the recognition that every individual has their own life story, cultural background, and personal values. These factors shape their identity and influence their care preferences. For example, understanding an individual's cultural practices can ensure that care plans respect their traditions and beliefs, making the care experience more inclusive and meaningful. Another critical element is active listening. By giving individuals the opportunity to express their thoughts and concerns, care providers can better understand what truly matters to them. This creates a partnership in which care is not something done to someone, but is collaboratively designed with them. Example in practice. Consider a care setting where an older adult, Mr. Ahmed, values his independence and prefers specific routines. A person-centered approach would involve engaging Mr. Ahmed in discussions about his daily activities, ensuring his preferences are respected while balancing safety considerations. For instance, if he enjoys preparing his own breakfast, staff can support him by ensuring the kitchen is safe and accessible. The benefits of person-centered care extend beyond the individual. It promotes a positive environment for caregivers, leading to better job satisfaction and stronger relationships between staff and individuals. By fostering mutual respect, it helps reduce conflicts and misunderstandings, ensuring smoother care delivery. In conclusion, person-centered care is about seeing the person beyond their condition or circumstances. It's about valuing their humanity, celebrating their individuality, and empowering them to live life on their terms. By adopting this approach, we can transform the care experience into one of partnership, respect, and genuine connection. Implementing person-centered care in practice. To implement person-centered care effectively, care providers must integrate its principles into every aspect of their practice. This involves creating individualized care plans, fostering open communication, and ensuring continuous assessment and adaptation of care strategies. 1. Individualized care plans. Care plans should be dynamic documents that reflect the changing needs, preferences, and goals of the individual. This means involving the person, their family, and other support networks in the planning process. For example, if a resident in a care home, Mrs. Brown, expresses a desire to attend church services regularly, her care plan should include arrangements for transportation and support to enable her participation. 2. Communication and collaboration. Open communication is the cornerstone of person-centered care. Care providers should prioritize transparency and actively seek feedback from individuals and their families. This could involve regular review meetings or informal check-ins to ensure the care being provided aligns with the person's expectations. 3. Continuous assessment. As individuals' needs evolve, care plans should be reassessed and updated accordingly. For instance, if a person's mobility decreases, their care plan might need adjustments to include mobility aids or modifications to their living space. This ensures that care remains relevant and effective. Example in practice. John, a young adult with a learning disability, expresses a strong interest in gardening. A person-centered approach would involve incorporating his passion into his daily activities. Care staff might create opportunities for John to participate in gardening projects, which not only enhance his well-being, but also build his skills and confidence. By embedding person-centered principles into everyday practice, care providers can ensure that their work not only meets professional standards, but also genuinely enriches the lives of those they support. This approach demands commitment, empathy, and a willingness to continuously learn and adapt to the unique needs of each individual. In today's session, we will be examining person-centered care, showing you the method and the systematically way of answering questions. Person-centered care is another core unit on which you will be scored. Some agencies will mark this unit as 6 credits, indicating the importance. Remember to subscribe, like, and share. Unit 2, Person-Centered Approaches, Evidence Portfolio. Role, Senior Care Worker at Sunshine Care Home, Section 1. Individual Rights and Choices Evidence for Learning Outcome, 1.1. During my role at Sunshine Care Home, I implemented the Mental Capacity Act 2005 principles when supporting Mrs. Johnson, a resident with early-stage dementia. Specific example, when Mrs. Johnson was reluctant to take her medication, I assessed her capacity for this specific decision, provided information in simple, clear language, used picture cards to explain medication benefits, documented her decision-making process, involved her family appropriately, respected her right to refuse. Result, successfully supported Mrs. Johnson to make an informed choice about her medication regime, leading to improved compliance and well-being. Evidence for Learning Outcome 1.2. I developed a choice-based morning routine system for Mr. Thompson, who has limited verbal communication. Implementation, created a picture board of clothing options, established preferred breakfast choices, developed non-verbal communication signals, documented daily choices, trained team members on approach, reviewed effectiveness weekly. Outcome, Mr. Thompson's engagement increased by 60% and behavioral incidents decreased significantly. Section 2, Care Planning and Review, Evidence for Learning Outcome. 2.1 I led the development of Ms. Parker's person-centered care plan. Process, initial assessment, conducted life history interview, gathered family input, reviewed medical history, assessed current needs, identified preferences, documented goals. Plan, development, created detailed support plans, incorporated risk assessments, added communication preferences, included cultural requirements, established review dates, set measurable outcomes. Result, Ms. Parker's care plan became a model for our service, demonstrating excellent person-centered practice. Evidence for Learning Outcome 2.2 Monthly Review of Mr. Ahmed's care plan demonstrated my ability to adapt care delivery. Actions, scheduled regular reviews, involved family members, updated mobility support, adjusted dietary plans, modified activity schedule, documented all changes. Impact, achieved 90% of Mr. Ahmed's personal goals within 6 months. Section 3, Communication Methods, Evidence for Learning Outcome 3.1. I developed a comprehensive communication strategy for Mrs. Smith, who has aphasia. Implementation, created communication passport, introduced tablet technology, used picture cards, implemented gesture system, trained staff team, monitored effectiveness results. Mrs. Smith's successful communication interactions increased by 75%. Evidence for Learning Outcome 3.2. Working with Mr. Chen, who speaks limited English. Solutions implemented, arranged interpreter services, created pictorial guides, used translation apps, learned key phrases, involved family members, documented effective methods. Outcome, significantly improved care delivery and resident satisfaction. Section 4, Dignity and Respect, Evidence for Learning Outcome. 4.1 Implemented dignity-promoting practices for bed-bound resident Mrs. Williams. Actions, privacy screening protocol, personal grooming choices, clothing preferences, respect, environmental control, visitor arrangements, dignity in dining impact, received written commendation from family for maintaining mother's dignity. Evidence for Learning Outcome 4.2. Developed respectful care practices for Mr. O'Brien with advanced dementia. Implementation, life history incorporation, preference documentation, cultural considerations, religious observance, family involvement, regular reviews. Result: enhanced resident well-being and family satisfaction scores. Section 5. Diversity and inclusion. Evidence for learning outcome. 5.1 led cultural awareness initiative in the care home. Activities: cultural celebration calendar, staff training sessions, dietary requirement system, religious observance support, language support arrangements, inclusive activity planning, impact, achieved outstanding in CQC cultural competence assessment. Evidence for learning outcome 5.2 supported Mrs. Patel's cultural and religious needs. Implementation, prayer time arrangements, dietary requirements, cultural dress respect, festival celebrations, family involvement, staff cultural training outcome, enhanced resident satisfaction and family engagement. Section 6. Well-being promotion, evidence for learning outcome. 6.1. Developed well-being program for Mr. Robinson. Components: physical exercise plan, mental stimulation activities, social interaction opportunities, emotional support sessions, spiritual care access, environmental adaptations. Challenges and solutions in person-centered care. While person-centered care is an ideal approach, its implementation can pose challenges. These may include resource limitations, resistance to change, or difficulties in balancing individual preferences with safety and organizational policies. However, with thoughtful strategies and commitment, these barriers can be overcome. 1. Resource limitations. Providing individualized care often requires additional time and resources. For example, tailoring activities or ensuring sufficient staffing levels can strain budgets. To address this, organizations can prioritize training staff in time management and effective delegation. Seeking community partnerships or volunteers can also help fill gaps and enrich the care environment. 2. Resistance to change. Care staff accustomed to traditional methods may struggle to embrace person-centered practices. Providing comprehensive training, highlighting the benefits, and sharing success stories can help shift mindsets. Encouraging staff to take small, consistent steps towards implementing person-centered care can make the transition smoother. 3. Balancing preferences with safety. A common challenge is reconciling an individual's preferences with safety requirements. For instance, a person with diabetes might prefer sugary snacks that are not aligned with their health needs. In such cases, care providers should engage in open discussions, exploring alternatives that satisfy the individual's preferences while mitigating risks. Example in practice. A resident with dementia may express a desire to go for a walk at night. While this poses safety concerns, a person-centered approach could involve creating a safe indoor walking space or arranging supervised walks during the day. This ensures the individual's needs are met without compromising their safety. By proactively addressing these challenges, care providers can create an environment where person-centered care thrives. It requires creativity, persistence, and a strong belief in the value of personalized care. Ultimately, overcoming these barriers leads to better outcomes for individuals and enhances the overall quality of care. Conclusion. Person-centered care is not just a practice, but a philosophy that transforms the way we approach caregiving. It demands a commitment to understanding and valuing the uniqueness of each individual. By implementing its principles, addressing challenges, and fostering a culture of empathy and collaboration, we can ensure that care is not only effective, but also deeply meaningful. Whether it's respecting cultural preferences, supporting personal aspirations, or balancing care with safety, person-centered care allows individuals to lead fulfilling lives, and that is the true essence of quality care. DM for more, subscribe, like, and share. Laws and policies associated with person-centered care. 1. The CARE Act. 2014 England Summary. The Care Act establishes the legal framework for adult social care in England. It prioritises well-being, promoting the individual's right to participate in decisions about their care. The Act mandates personalised care planning, emphasising the importance of involving individuals and their support networks in crafting care strategies that align with their preferences and goals. 2. The Health and Social Care Act, 2012. Summary. This Act highlights the need for integrated care that focuses on the individual's needs rather than organisational boundaries. It underscores person-centred care by ensuring that services are designed to improve outcomes for individuals, promoting greater patient choice and autonomy. 3. Equality Act, 2010. Summary. The Equality Act protects individuals from discrimination based on characteristics such as age, disability, race, gender, and religion. It ensures care providers respect the diverse backgrounds of individuals and deliver services that cater to their unique needs, preferences, and beliefs. The Human Rights Act, 1998. Summary. The Human Rights Act ensures that care respects individuals' fundamental rights, such as dignity, autonomy, and freedom of expression. Care providers must uphold these rights while delivering services, ensuring individuals are treated with respect and their voices are heard. 5th Mental Capacity Act, 2005. Summary. This Act provides a framework for supporting individuals who may lack the capacity to make decisions about their care. It emphasises the importance of empowering individuals to participate in decisions wherever possible and ensuring their best interests are at the centre of care planning. 6th Children and Families Act, 2014. Summary. For younger individuals or families involved in care, this Act promotes a child-centred approach. It ensures that the voice of the child is heard, especially in cases involving special educational needs or disabilities, reinforcing the principles of inclusion and empowerment. 7. The NICE Guidelines on Person-Centred Care Summary. The National Institute for Health and Care Excellence, NICE, provides evidence-based guidelines to support the delivery of person-centred care. These guidelines highlight the need for respect, collaboration, and personalised care planning across health and social care services. 8. Data Protection Act, 2018, GDPR. Summary. This Act ensures the confidentiality and security of personal information. In person-centred care, respecting individuals' data rights is essential, allowing them to maintain control over their personal information and fostering trust. 9. Professional Codes of Conduct, e.g., NMC, HCPC. Summary. Codes of conduct from professional bodies like the Nursing and Midwifery Council, NMC, or Health and Care Professions Council, HCPC, emphasize the importance of person-centred care. They guide professionals to practice with empathy, respect, and accountability. The Autism Act, 2009. Summary. The Autism Act specifically addresses the needs of individuals with autism, requiring care providers to adopt personalised strategies that respect the unique challenges and strengths of each individual. It mandates training for staff to ensure services are tailored effectively. These laws and policies collectively create a robust framework supporting person-centred care, ensuring that individuals receive dignified, personalised, and rights-respecting services. See you on our next unit. Subscribe, share, and like.